Hello there, YouTube. This is Symbols and Bits back at it again with another Inkbound daily. Today's the daily for October 6th, and we will be playing Weaver, going from, good lord, I believe it's Derelict Starship into, man, that's kind of a problem. It's probably important. Anyways, we're going to Derelict Starship, and I believe Vengewood, and then up against Argoloth. We have two random bindings, -1 will. Weaver deals a little bit better with -1 will as Clairvoyant, in my opinion, but still, they feel it. But it's also possible that we won't feel that much at all, depending on what our two random bindings are. And then we have Eager Foes, so the last two waves of all combat spawn at once. This is just good because it gives us time to work on them, however we go about that. Our daily run quest is to inflict daze or critically hit. We'll see how easy that is. We have Talons of Sin, so we're going to... They're trying to push us into a poison build here. I could actually see that. Of course, we're at the mercy of the skills that they give us, so we just have a Talons of Sin for no frickin' reason. There is the green vestige, though. I believe it's Poison Dagger. That does poison whenever we crit. That is definitely a possibility for us, especially with Weaver having the green augment for however enemies you have threaded. You get some free global crit chance and crit damage. Kind of nice. Grasp has a crit ascension. Constrict. Does Constrict have crit? I believe it does. It's green. Is that right? Maybe it's white. I really should know this. I just never grab it on Constrict. Well, I grab the crit aug on Constrict, but I don't really think about it. I just stack as much damage as possible on this thing. What do we got here? On hitting, inflict 2 stacks of poison. That's notable. Especially with Talons of Sin, it's very easy for us to inflict poison 150 times then. I mean, we're still going to be short a ton of turns due to the fact that the runs are shorter. Maybe that's not going to be so easy because it's not 150 stacks of poison, it's 150 times. So let's just assume that there's 50 enemies in a run, which is honestly quite egregious, but could happen. If there's 50 enemies in a run, we have to hit all of them 3 times. With just Poison Thorn? I'm starting to like Moss Spyglass a little more now. Doesn't really help us, I think, versus Mimic, depending on how they position. If we get Moss Cloak Mimic, they usually are the furthest enemy from us, so then Moss Spyglass would hit them. So I suppose if we thread them ahead of time, then we always have access to a double constrict on them. Also have Grasp, Cleave. I really don't like taking Bramble Dolos. It's a lot of damage, but I just don't think that we're going to set ourselves up for something like that. I'm trying not to fall into this poison trap here. Which, if they would have given us something like Poison Vapors, I definitely would have been more okay with it. But, literally, we have to get, like, vestiges, and, like, the right vestiges in order for this to do anything. I'm not willing to take Poison Thorn just for that. So I think it's Moss Spyglass here, or we reroll. I think that Moss Spyglass is good enough that I really don't care to reroll. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and we'll take that. Further Wider is appreciated. Plus 20 on Constrict. Like, the buff that they gave this thing was ridiculous. Like, we got, what, 50 damage on Constrict? When it was already one of the best damage per turns in the game. Makes like plus 20 damage actually feel pretty bad because we basically got 2.5 of these for free and it was already like enough damage. I could see taking the Stitch just to not take Further Wider, but Further Wider is also going to be like very helpful for us since we have -1 will. In the event that we do want to go wide and hit multiple people, that's going to be a good way to do it. But if we accidentally, like, for whatever reason, we need to hit somebody in a pack of enemies, it's going to be hard for us to get constrict damage. That's kind of why I'm waffling on it. We'll take Potent Stitch. It makes it a good single target skill. Alright. Apologize ahead of time if I sound a bit nasally or I get a bit sniffly. Basically, it's pretty freaking cold out, which might sound normal for October, but just last week we were in like 100-degree weather. Weather's been crazy this year. Like, I know that we've got like a heat wave, an El Nino or whatever you want to call it coming through, but legitimately, we have had all 4 seasons this week. Okay, game. I think I want to grasp you, but I want to make sure that I don't like pull you out of place, which I think I might have actually just did. What have I done? There we go. That'll bring us pretty close. Like, everybody's done. Like, we're gonna take this damage. Further Wider would have been kind of nice just to take out these 2 guys here. Can I really not get the 2 of you guys? Oh well. We're gonna take 6 damage. But we did it. I like the blue crit damage here, since we're kind of thinking that we're going into crit anyways. I also kind of like the ability power. Like, starting to scale our damage now is a good idea. And our crit's not quite at the point to where it's something reliable for us. So we'll go ahead, we'll take that. What the frick is going on here? I don't need 2 of these. This isn't bad. Plus 2 stacks of bleed is like the worst trade deal in the history of trade deals here. There's much better Augs, but I suppose it's 70 damage per turn, 77 damage per turn. Sure, that could be our Mimic solution, especially since we have a Mercurial here. Otherwise, Thickened Threads getting to the point to where we're getting close to 66 damage is probably a good idea because we're going up against all the Slimps. I think this makes us fall just short of that. Yeah, just short of that. We'd have to find some more damage. I'll take Thickened Threads. That's Harpoon right away? Holy Lord. Holy frickin' Lord. Or is it Envelope? I really don't like the +2 cooldown of Envelope. It makes this skill, like, hardly usable. But it could very well solve Mimic for us. Especially since we have a Mercurial Elixir. I think it's Harpoon. Like, that 2 cooldown is a big deal. Um, give me stats. This, like, what are you trying to do? I'm not falling for it. I'm actually willing to re-roll this. 6% crit chance is exactly what I want. Thank you. Superior Vault. Let's get some items that actually do stuff. And what is this? A Disintegrate. Cool. I want to drop that Mercurial. Use it on the boss. That is a Thuntalope. It's about how I feel about that. I guess, head down here. I don't have to worry about you. Guess we'll go for some controlled weaving here. That seems most useful. And then if I do this twice... Yeah. And I don't have to worry about this guy still being alive because of eager foes. So those enemies all just spawned at once on us. Burden of Wisdom actually seems absolutely terrible for us. Swift Hair seems decent. We have a lot of cooldowns that we want to reduce. God forbid Cleave. Using Cleave more often would be nice. Movement's pretty good for us. Otherwise, Verdant Sprout solves that. It's nice to have an HP buffer at the end of the game. Gives us a little bit of healing to help us like be prepared for a boss. I don't disrespect it. I think it might just be Swift Hair, though. I feel the physical power, since all of our main damage attacks are physical damage. But we need to get that crit chance up there if we're going to reliably get this. Critical Constrict, thank you. Cleave does not occur often enough for me to want to shield with it. And even then, we usually got to go out of our way just to hit like 3 people. Then of course they give us Eviscerate, which actually makes that good. Of course they did. I'll take Hemorrhage, the one that actually reduces its cooldown. It makes it so that we can actually use this skill more often, which is much appreciated. Also doubles the amount of bleed that it does, gives Hemo so that we can pop it again. Just all around pretty good. Oh, what do we got here? Ink Needle Compass is worth 35 for me. Like 100%. It keeps pushing that needle for our tilt in the right direction. Study of Windsong is also quite decent, but that's getting on the edge of what we are allowed to buy in a run. Is Study of Windsong good enough that we feel like that's all we need for the rest of the run? Maybe. Like, if we're going a crit build, honestly, just getting extra mark is nice, but obviously with our run where we played as... It was a rainbow run, and they gave us the opportunity to do Pinball Wizard right out the box. Obviously, we don't like being subjected to RNG, and it has definitely washed us. But I feel like we got a lot more damage here. And I think I honestly do want Study of Windsong. So, we will buy both of these. I forgot to pick up my Mercurial. I'm a fool. It's Magma Miner. That is appreciated. You're already marked, so let's just go ahead and hit you with our highest damage attack. Can I get all you guys standing here? No, we're going to have to use some movement. That's fine. Come on, man. I had it too, and then I had to move. There we go. That's good. Let's try to get our controlled weaving. I don't think I need +1 will reserve right now. I think I actually... I think we do this. You guys are lining up in a rad spot. A little bit concerned about our damage output here. Probably should have actually used Blue Spine Cod. Shows what I know. This is doing more damage, so we'll go ahead and we'll use it. Guess we'll use this now. Hope that it's soon enough. There we go. That certainly helps. Let's re-roll this for a crit. Try and re-roll these for a crit. Move here. Weaver is good. You stand in one spot. There's just no way. Okay. This would be where we would have wanted further wider. There's probably a magic pixel here, like right there. Perfect. That gives us controlled weaving, so that attack was free. This is a crit, so let's do this instead. Then this. Yeah, that works a lot better. Then this. Then I think we're honestly just fishing for a crit here. I actually don't think that we need to run. We want to be as close to you as possible. We'll go ahead, we'll take that damage. And so now we need to finish you this turn, which is a little Monka-S. Okay. We did it. Barely. Tangle's interesting. It's not very good for Constrict, though. Tangle's good for single target, but unfortunately it threads nearby enemies. Which I don't appreciate. We might just take it anyways. We get a blue Aug on this. We can target anybody we want. All of a sudden it helps us get controlled weaving. Okay. All these are pretty good. I think it's Critical Grasp, simply because that's our single target. Critical Stitch, again, isn't bad. We desperately need some stats. That is... Crit chance is technically a stat. I keep wondering if that's worth it for us to grab or if we actually need to start taking physical power now that we're in Book 2. And going after Lusk, this has to do 330 damage. Oi. Yeah, we really weren't thinking about Lusk, were we? How are we gonna take 33 global damage? I suppose we could just kill Lusk, and then we don't have to worry about it. That is a far cry from where we're at, though. I think it might be 2 physical power here. Like, we can try and crit as much as we want. You still need base damage. Oh. We're getting moderately lucky with the, Holy Lord. This is about to be some suffer. I think I did that right. It's looking like I did it right. Why did the training dummy die? I'll have to take a look at that one again. That looked weird. But they're probably going to summon 2 of the barrier blotters? No, they didn't. That helps. You guys are going to auto-target, actually. I don't know where the best place to sit is. I want you all to bunch up so that I can tangle you all. That's relatively good. We're still not doing any damage, though. I'll admit, I honestly don't know what the frick we're gonna do here. We're gonna really miss this by 1. I probably could have played that a little bit better. Huh. Well, I mean, this is best for us, so we're gonna go ahead and we'll do it. And we're gonna take a turn penalty. God, that feels bad. Thunderstruck Bell shocked on a random enemy usually doesn't help us. Except if we're trying to make sure that we can take care of that one phase of Lusk. Honestly, that might be the play. Otherwise, Amulet of Floral, we don't dodge. However, it's 7% crit. This seems like it's just overall more useful to us. We'll take it. There's even more physical damage. Would have been helpful. Reducing the cooldown on grasp seems like a good idea. We kind of want that to be off cooldown when we hit phase 2 of Lusk. Strangulate's probably the best deal since we're going wide here. Keep giving me stats. Binding Empowerment was tempting, but I honestly don't know what a green is really going to do for us besides another Strangulate here. Since your CDR is blue, like it could give us some bleed, I think, which is kind of nice. It could give us our crit AUG, I suppose, for Thread. Just keep giving me physical damage. We want to get that number to around 10. Now, if you could shock the money pot, that would be greatly appreciated. Well, that's still interesting. Okay. Feeling a lot better about that. There we go. Okay. I'm wondering if we can farm some crits here. Or is that hubris? There's one. There's two. Okay. Well, four, technically. So we should be able to get our legendary during the fight with Lusk. Moss Mother's Embrace isn't bad. Acknowledgement of Exemption is kind of interesting, especially if we end up getting -1 cost on Hemo. I wish we had -1 cost on Hemo, because I would legitimately take that. That's nutty. Unfortunately, that's not what we got, so we're going to go ahead and take Moss Mother's Embrace here. When Evasive goes a little way, it's okay versus, you know, the Argoloth fight. I guess we're taking 1 ability power here. I'm not re-rolling this. Prepare Grass, make it free? We can't re-roll here. This is the last blue we're going to see. Would we prefer to have a purple on Harpoon? It can be plus damage. It can be more crit. It can be more crit on here. Our magic damage doesn't really do anything, though. So I guess Bolstered Cleave is the best option here. Give me more stats, please. Always. Oozing Jelly for more crit chance. That's good for the boss, in my opinion. Huh. I will take more crit chance here? Question mark? I'm not even sure how to feel about this run anymore. We're probably going to get a Baler's Tongue as my guess, since we have so many crit items. Okay. Why did I think we were going up against Lusk? I really don't know why. But it's obviously an issue. We at least got Moss Mother's Embrace, which is pretty good for Giannis. We are going to end up taking a ton of damage, though. It's possible that we honestly take this fish here. I'm going to take the fish. Okay. Not sure what else I can really do there. Put ourselves right here so that Lust gets the mark. There's a crit. Kind of want to keep that crit now that I think about it. Yeah, that'll do. Am I able to even phase you? Yes. Okay. So you're going to be marked. I'm going to crit you with this. Then we'll also have our Poon off. We could feasibly make this. Oi. I'm not sure we're going to make this. We pretty much need this to crit. And positioning wasn't the best for us. That helps. Oh my god, a crit. Oh lord. Gavel of the Dam. Interesting. Otherwise we don't inflict burn. So Infernal Cascade isn't really good for us. I can deal with Gavel of the Dam. Especially if we manage to thread like all the tentacles, we can almost go infinite. I guess we'll take Weave out of these two options. Tether's usually good, but I'm not feeling it there. There's that discounted cleave I wanted. I think that cross stitch isn't bad. I almost like it better than Violent Grasp, which seems crazy because we got so much crit damage on this thing. Problem is that it needs to crit. I mean, I guess I'll just keep taking physical power. There is an argument to be made for taking magic power now that we have Tangle and Weave. I'd still just rather Strangulate, to be honest. So that's kind of how I feel about that. Now we just need to not die in this fight here. I am really not appreciating the whole tuning stone situation here. Reroll that for a crit. Oh, why do you do this? Okay. Sorry, I gotta think about this turn quite a bit. Oh. That one was a bit spicy. Heart of the Last Lifeless. I really appreciate it. On gaining crit, gain stacks of Shattered Will. That's actually not terrible. Is that better than Heart of the Last Lifeless? I don't know. You can probably get rid of Ink Needle Compass for something. What are our stats? More crit damage. That's probably the play here. What do we got here? Another Cross Stitch. Gross. Spun Threads. 2 free uses is kind of nice. I think that's actually our play here. So regardless of what we're doing, we're healing. So basically the plan is, do we get more chances at free will, or do we assume that we're going to take some damage, which is highly likely? We've got no shielding kit, and just take Heart of the Last Lifeless instead. It's going to be pretty hard for us to negate damage, especially since we don't have like ludicrous damage. I think it's honestly Heart of the Last Lifeless here. Paradigm Shift is not terrible in combination with Swift Hair. Kind of wish I had another source of CDR. If I had like Inkredo, that would be perfect. Looking at our money, we can't re-roll this. It's got to be one of these. I think it's going to be Heart of the Last Lifeless. Well, that's where we're at. Like, I guess we could technically get rid of the Thunderstruck Bell, but I don't think that the Thunderstruck Bell is worth 3% crit. I obviously haven't done the math on that, but I don't know. Another Heart of the Last Lifeless, anybody? Roots of Reprieve would honestly be pretty freaking good. I wonder who has the money to take that. Put me down here. Eh. Okay, that's a lot of damage. Meat bam. Oh well. At least there's going to be tentacles for the next phase. We're going to start with some shielding. This sort of breakage is to be expected. Yeah, it feels kind of weird just walking away from this, but we kind of, like, the only other thing that I might do is just harpoon this just to get it off cooldown, but then we're definitely not going to see it next turn. I mean, unless it reduces its own cooldown with Swift Hair, that's kind of nice. Actually, no, we took the negative CDR. It just starts at 3. Yeah, that was definitely the right play then. Let's get our controlled weaving. Did I seriously? No, I've got it. Okay. Now I get to hit everyone, sir. Everyone! Any Leon the Professional enjoyers in chat? And that just gives us a ton of Shattered Will because we're just hitting everything. Whew. Hello? Unfortunately, at this point, we don't have anything else going on. We will full block. So we can just go ahead and bully these tentacles up here. Kind of nice if I could get all 3 of you, but that's not going to happen. Oh! Oh! That's kind of huge. And now, due to Talons of Sin, we're going to poison everything on our first skill, although I think everything's going to be dead, like, next turn, unfortunately. Oh, we got our frickin' thing back? If you insist. I'll hit you guys then. Perfect. These tentacles should respawn. I want to hit them with Hemo. It's critting. You're not critting again? Very rude, man. Let's reduce some cooldowns, allegedly. One tentacle. Gaze is in effect. That's kind of spooky. Those enemies over there honestly shouldn't be able to do anything to us. Let's just make sure that we don't screw this up. Honestly, give me this power orb. You still didn't crit. Why do you do this to me? All right. Just trying to think about how we got to deal with this. And right now it's just Bully Cinder is how we, sorry, not Cinder, Argoloth is how we deal with this. This is our 5th turn, I believe. Honestly, haven't been keeping count. Which means that this tentacle has to see us through. I think we're gonna miss it. God damn, by that much. We were probably inefficient with some damage towards tentacles. Because we're gonna miss it by like 337. Oh man. Well, that is what it is. Yep, 1 turn. A negative 800. Damn. It's not bad. Considering everything, but obviously with us being able to get fight 1 somewhat easily, I would say, perfect score is possible. So us getting nabbed by like 300 again, maybe it's Study a Wind Song. Who knows? Maybe it's the fact that our frickin' we didn't get a single crit with Harpoon. Like that would easily have been that damage since we stuffed that in there before we finished the tentacle. Maybe it's how we were using Thunderstruck Belt. Like again, we have like a lot of RNG in here. Maybe we were misusing our Shattered Will. Maybe it was the correct answer to get Shaheen's. Who knows? Anyways, it was still a fun run. Hopefully you guys had fun, or at least it was educational. We're up here at the top page so far. Shiny Brandon up here yet again. Truly a capital G gamer. Absolutely stoated. Anyways, feel free to get up here, get a better score. If you have any feedback whatsoever, be it questions, comments, concerns, misplay alerts, be sure to put that down in the comments below. And until next time, we will catch you guys around.